the Darksaber from Star Wars, the Commando Rifle,
Spider-Man's web shooter, Captain America's Wakandan shield from Avengers Infinity War,
Ahsoka Tano's lightsabers from Star Wars The Clone Wars,
the top 10 Call of Duty video games,
my top 10 favorite Mario boss fights and final levels, Hey guys, what's going on? Chappy Liftout here with another video for you guys, and at long last, we are here with the 100 subscriber special. First off, I've already said this a few times, but thank you so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. It really means a lot to me that we've been able to reach this milestone, and we're already on a decent way to 200 subscribers. We've made it to about 110, so good job on y'all's part. To celebrate 100 subscribers, I wanted to take a look at my 5 favorite projects over the course of 100 subscribers. Not necessarily a ranking video. These projects aren't necessarily in any particular order, but they're my favorites over the course of 100 subscribers. This is only covering from 0 to 100, so any projects that I've recently made over my 4-month absence and Crosshair Sniper Rifle will not be taken into consideration. If we make it to 200 subscribers, maybe those ones will have some recognition. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and start with my 5 favorite projects. So first off it's actually one of my original projects that I made, and I call it a bayonet rifle. So this is not based off of any materials. This is the point where I was making weapons for a fictional character that I made back in 2020, and I subsequently made this project as well. Now, one of the cool things that I made about it was, like, typically bayonet rifles, they kind of have like a bayonet attachment, and so I tried to incorporate it on here, but I thought it'd be cool to be able to take it off in a cool fashion. Thus came the ability to open up the rifle, take out the sword, or bayonet, I should say, pull the rifle, and now you have a rifle, but then you also have your bayonet turned sword, which kind of makes it easy to carry around. Now, I really love being able to make them go together. It made me think a lot of, there's a Lego kit from the Lego Batman movie that has 4 vehicles that all go into one. I'll try to have a picture of them on screen. But it just making this made me think so much of that. And I also really love the sword that I made. I made a bunch of swords in this, in 2020, and I've made a video about that. And, I also just really like this lightsaber. When I made it made me think a lot of Ezra Bridger's original lightsaber from Star Wars Rebels, with that kind of, like, that hilt that kind of looks like this and the blade coming from the end. It was just really fun to make. And this project was actually one of the earlier videos on my channel, so if you want to, you guys can check it out. And yeah, the sword feels nice. It doesn't really flimms around a lot. The gun feels more or less nice. The handle feels kind of weak, but it still holds up pretty well. And you can just as easily open up the gun, stick back the sword, put it back in, and you have your bayonet rifle again. I also like how this is the right fit for me. This feels nice. I will admit it's slightly basic because this was the early days of my 3D cardboard weapon making. But still, probably one of my favorites. One of my favorites for one of my original projects that I made. Okay, so next up we are going to look at the Halo Commando Rifle from Halo Infinite. So I made this before Halo Infinite came out, just with reference material, references based off of the gameplay showcase video. And this is like, it doesn't have a whole lot of functions, but it's still, I like it because of the aesthetics, because it looks very, I just like the way it looks. And after playing Halo Infinite, it like, just looking at it in the game, I just kept thinking a lot of the cardboard of this version that I made, and it was so fun. So, magazine comes out in a cool fashion. You can slide it back in. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole weapon. Moving trigger, and big, feels nice in the hands. The scope, I will say, like, this scope is one of my favorites that I made. The reflex sight, I always love making those. So this part here is actually supposed to be a scope, but I didn't realize until later that it was. I just thought it was going to be a part. So like, if you look here, there's just like a bulkhead in the way. I want to try to change that later down the line. But as it is, this weapon still pretty cool for a weapon that hadn't even come out yet. I made this, I think it was like early 2021. I don't remember. I'm gonna have all the videos for these projects linked in the description. So if you check out the Commander Rifle video, you'll know when it came out. All right, next up, we have, this one is definitely one of my personal favorites, the Modern Warfare Sniper Rifle. Now this thing was kind of a pain to make because it was big and it has the iconic bullet eject function, but definitely worth it as this project turned out really well. It's seen some wear and tear in the months that I've had it, but it still worked out pretty well. It has the two scopes, up with the little flap here. It has a little bipod. It's long, but it feels nice. It has the rest over here. It has the details in the back. I'm not even sure what these are supposed to be, but I added them and they feel nice. It has the trigger, the magazine, and because I know you're gonna comment down in the video if I don't do this, the ever awesome bullet ejection mechanism. Caught the bullet this time.
Hey, it worked.
So another, like, this also feels good in the hand. This bit I was always kind of worried about because it felt really big, but I think honestly it feels fine. Like, I could still hold it and not feel totally uncomfortable, and it works just as fine. The different details of the rifle are one of my favorite things, like the scopes that I made, the back details. I don't even do a whole lot of details for some of my props, but this one I just felt like I needed to, and I think it turned out pretty well. And I also love that I was actually able to make something with an ejection mechanism. There is another rifle from Call of Duty that has this function that I kind of want to try. I'm just not sure if I'm going to try it soon. If I do though, I'll have good reference material to know what to do. Next up is, this is probably my most favorite project, Captain America's Wakandan Shield. So this whole thing was pretty much the shell ejection mechanism of my sniper rifle. This thing was a pain to make, but I am so happy with how it turned out. I mean, it's not every day that I can put together a project and then make it do this, but I did, and it turned out really, really well. So the expansion mechanism, obviously one of my favorite parts about this, but I really like the detailing that I was able to do. My brother, I mentioned this, had a silver Sharpie that worked out really well. And I love, even though it's just like small, nothing like too futuristic, like what Crazy Gulshan or the Hacksmith did, I just love like the silver bits that you can see. It just looks really nice every time I see it. And then the magnets, obviously the magnets played a huge part in this. Not only these ones for the top, but just the ones that I used for the expansion mechanism and with the slider. I'm really happy that I bought these because they helped me. Without these, I probably wouldn't be able to make these or make this, but thankfully I did, and it turned out pretty well. Expansion mechanism can be a little janky sometimes, but no matter, I still made it. I still made a Wakandan shield. Not every day I can say that. And then last on the list, another one of my favorite projects, the Darksaber from Clone Wars, Rebels, and The Mandalorian. I can say all three of those now. So, the Darksaber. What to say about the Darksaber? First off, for a basic-ish product, it still looks pretty cool. It's sturdy, which is another important factor because I can never seem to make a lightsaber that isn't sturdy. Just look back at the past. I've made many lightsabers that don't hold up. And the lights. Cannot get over the lights. I'm filming at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it might be a little bit hard to see, but I managed to put lights on a lightsaber and make it work. Oh. One of my favorite things. So, one complaint that I do have with this thing is, like, I didn't really want to be able to have it, like, 2 switches, like, one to turn it on and then one to turn it off. And it was the only thing I could do, but honestly, nowadays, I don't really mind, because as long as it can turn on and off, I am happy either way. Maybe in the future I can work on something that has, like, you push it in and turns on, you push it in and turns off. Like, I don't know, like some of the Onasaber lightsabers where you just press the button and it turns on. Just, you know, something like that. Maybe if I manage to get more involved in electronics, I can do that. I am planning on I'm currently in the process, actually, of making just a Darksaber hilt that looks like the ones in the shows, because Epic Cardboard Props made his own version, and it looked really cool with all, like, the detailings that he had. And I thought about putting it on this Darksaber, but I think I'm just going to make a separate one just for an easier display, and I might have it, like, somewhere back there, maybe with one of my future projects. So yeah, I don't think I'll add details. I might, not sure, but by itself, honestly, looks pretty cool. So those are my 5 favorite projects, and now comes the part where I ask you, what was your favorite project? It doesn't have to be restrained to just these. It could be any projects from any of my past videos. If you have a particular favorite, let me know in the comments down below, and I will check them out. I read the comments all the time, and I'll be interested to see what y'all's favorites are. There's a bunch here that I haven't mentioned, but still a lot of really good ones. I do want to quickly address an elephant in the room, and that is my Spider-Man web shooters from Spider-Man PS4. So that video is currently, I don't know how, currently the most viewed on my channel with almost 5,500 views. But here's the funny thing. It's not my favorite project. What? I know, it's weird. Allow me to explain. When I first had the idea of making it, I thought it was going to be great. And it did turn out mostly great. It could shoot a web, but I just didn't really like how bulky it felt and, like, the way that I had to shoot it. It was still something that I had to work out, and I'm still wondering how. I'm pretty sure it was the intro of that video, where I kind of teased them, you know, this intro. Might have been that. But it's not my favorite project, and I might go back and, like, fix things. I know Sean's Craft did a version of that looks a lot better and more compact, so maybe I might try to base it off of that. But as it is, it's not totally my favorite project. However, it is still a decently cool one. So I just want to address that. If you're wondering why I don't have it on the list, it's because it's not my favorite project, but I will acknowledge that it is my popular video. So those are, as I said, this is all my top 5 favorites. Once again, if you have a particular favorite that I haven't mentioned, let me know in the comments down below, and I will check it out, because I'd be interested to see what you guys have in mind. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, click the bell so you get notified of future videos, and share this video to someone who you think might enjoy it. I am going to try, I promise you, I'm going to try to post videos more or less fluently. It's just the problem is there's this little thing that I'm in called senior year of high school. Some of you might have heard of it. And I am trying to, I talked about this in my little short video that I had. I'm trying to pass. This is the reason why the last video that I posted was on New Year's Eve, and I hadn't posted for 3.5 months. And I'm on spring break, so that's why I'm doing it now. But if I don't post as often, it's because I'm trying to get through high school because I am so close. I'm a month and a half away from graduating. But I'm going to try, because I might have a couple of days off. I know I'm getting another week off in May, so I might be able to do that. And I've got a bunch more projects that I cannot wait to show you guys, including this one back here. Cannot wait to show you guys that one. So just bear with me. Stay subscribed. I'd really appreciate it. So until next time, I'm Travis Livdahl. I'll see you guys in the next video. And thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers.